I think everyone who's played Xenoblade 3 can agree that Mwamba is unintentionally hilarious. But what exactly is it that makes him so funny? Today I wanted to answer the question nobody ever asked, and break down Mwamba to understand the genius behind his writing. For starters, Mwamba's collecting death flags like Pokemon. He's the party's older mentor figure, being just 1 month away from homecoming. Now, mentor figures do have a pretty strong track record in the Xeno series, but to compound the general writing trope, Mwamba expresses concern about making it to the end of the next month. He talks about wanting to transfer out of the combat division of the colony to avoid being on the front lines. Then, immediately before a massive 3-way battle, he splits off from the rest of the party to scout ahead. All that alone would be enough to set off anyone who has ever interacted with media in their life, but it doesn't stop there. Anyone who was following this game during its pre-release will recall how we were spoiled on pretty much everything that was in Chapter 1. It was no mystery that the Agnian and Kavesi party would come together after this mission, nor was it a mystery that Guernica wasn't a bad guy and that Mobius and the consuls were. The only two aspects of the chapter we weren't shown were the bath scene and anything involving Mwamba. They opted to show us characters like Juniper and Ethel instead. So, when we all booted up the game and saw this new Mwamba character, we pretty much all collectively knew something was up. I think the funniest part of Mwamba's exclusion from the pre-release material is the fact that it speaks to his importance. The devs absolutely knew they couldn't show off Mwamba because if they did, they would spoil that he's no longer with us after Chapter 1. By not mentioning him at all though, we were immediately set off by his existence. If he wasn't shown in any of the promotional material, which covered content all the way up through the very beginning of Chapter 5, then something had to have happened to him in Chapter 1. The worst part is that after his death, even the party seems to have forgotten he ever existed. Not only is he not physically present after Chapter 1, but he's never mentioned again until the very end of the game, where there's a very short side quest chain tied to him. To further compound his irrelevance, we have Zeon, one of our heroes, an older mentor figure to the Kavesi party and commander of Colony 9. After Mwamba's death, he's completely replaced by Zeon, meaning that not only does Mwamba solely exist to die, but there was an exact replacement waiting for him and nobody seems to remember him. He almost feels like something the community made up as a meme. On a more serious note, coming off of Xenoblade 2, I think a lot of us expected the New Game Plus content to come in some future update. After all, Xenoblade 2 got 9 rare blades added as post-launch content, each with unique skills, weapons, animations, and voiced side quests. In contrast, we got absolutely nothing for Xenoblade 3, not even as much of a reason to play New Game Plus. There was a lot of speculation that Mwamba might be added as a New Game Plus hero in a future update, but alas, it never came to fruition. It just feels like another meta joke from the developers about Mwamba being completely forgotten and unimportant. It would be incredibly easy for them to add him as a bonus hero who doesn't pass on his class, similar to the 2 you get from beating Future Redeemed, but they choose not to. And honestly, I kinda respect their decision to do that. That's some serious commitment to the bit. Anyway, that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching to the end, and make sure to stay tuned for more Xenoblade content. Also, like and subscribe. Thank you. Goodbye.